Hey guys, today I'll be doing a little guide about will, which applies to both normal and hard will as well. And now we'll start talking about will having two health bars, the purple health bar as well as the blue health bar. So if we rewind a little bit in this video, we'll go back to how we have moonlight. So as you see the moonlight at the right corner, top corner of the screen, we have to generate this moonlight to go over to the blue side. So as you see, I finished attacking the purple bar to its maximum. Now I have to press the NPC button to go over to the blue side. So what hinders you in getting moonlight is actually getting hit by these red pellets that's dropping out from the two eyes that's on top. So you can, as best as you can, you avoid it, or not it will hinder your regeneration for a few seconds. So it is especially important for this information over at phase 2. So for phase 1 over here, we will have to keep avoiding and stay behind Will until the test, which is now 2850. At 2850, the eye appears and tell all your party members to come over, and the test starts. So the test starts, your party members will be over at the other side, and you will be on one side, which is for me is on the blue side. They have to whack their eye until you have this purple, this yellow shield that shields you from the AoE that happens after the test, but it doesn't shield you from everything that's coming down from the screen. So avoid the red ones, and the yellow ones are fine. It doesn't deal you any damage. So as the test is over, you can continue dealing damage because he becomes vulnerable. And the tip is that not only avoid the red pellets that's dropping down from the sky, you also have to constantly stay behind the boss. Why do I say that? Number one, as you see, he appears on the screen. As long as you're behind him, he will knock you back, and after he knocks you back, he wouldn't shoot this tornado skill that we call it, and that is actually 100% damage, which you will just basically die. So constantly stay behind him, that's the trick, and avoid the red pellets if you have to. But for normal, it's very easy to regenerate, so just keep going, stay behind him, stay on blue side, and your party members stay on purple side until the next timer, 2650. So as you can see, even though now the timer is still running and I'm still whacking him because I want to regenerate my moonlight, at the same time keep staying behind him, that's basically phase 1. So as you look out for eye, so my party member says it's at blue, press NPC button. Over here you'll be so actually if you press the NPC button, you will be it will be like considered an iframe over the other side for about 2-3 seconds. So if you cannot avoid any skill, for example the tornado that's coming at you, you can just press an NPC button and go over the other side, and you'll be iframe for a few seconds. Yeah. So again, we passed the test. We'll be going over to the last health bar that will bring us to phase 2. So same thing, avoid everything such as the red pellets, that's the most important one, and stay behind Will. That's for phase 1. So a little sneak peek into phase 2 is that why I keep emphasizing on avoiding these red pellets is that it will stop you from regenerating your moonlight for a period of time, and it hinders a lot in phase 2 because phase 2 you have to have moonlight in order to replenish your potion with your HP. So you have to keep regenerating via whacking Mr. Will, but at the same time, if you have been hindered by the pellets that's hitting you, it's very hard for you to heal yourself. So take note of that. in phase 2. And every time you press the NPC button, that's when you can press your HP potion. And once you press your HP potion, there will be a certain cooldown as usual, and you can press one more time. So every time you press the Moonlight, you can heal twice after the first cooldown. Yeah, so later in phase 2, you'll see more about it. So now we're waiting for the last test over at the purple side, which was at 2450. So every test is at an even number of 50 seconds. So 2850, 2650, and 2450. So if you fail the test, it's fine. You just have to wait for the next test at the next even number, which is, for example, 2250, 2050, or 1850. So follow up onto the next phase, we have to buff up before we go in and immediately bind. So when we bind, then we burst him. Once the first bar of will goes down, because there will be 2 bars, means 2 tests. Once the full bar goes down, your test starts, and you need to remember the timing on top. So maybe one person, maybe the bishop or something, look at it. So the timer now is 23:28. When the test starts, there's a crack. So crack, you need to get hit by the spider legs, and usually it's at the 3 specific spots. So you have to get hit 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And again, 1, 2, 3. So when there is no crack and still during the test, just stand all the way to the left corner and you wait until the test is over. So this test happens 5 times, meaning the spider legs or the crack will appear every 5 times of 1, 2, 3. So if there's a crack, 1, 2, 3, that's 1 test. Then there's another crack, 1, 2, 3, there's another test. So as you remember, the timer just now was 23:28. So basically the next timing will be 21:28. So even after we hit the boss right now all the way down to its minimum bar, we still have to wait till the timer and survive. So as you see now, my Moonlight is like barely to the max, and I keep getting hit, and then now I use my Moonlight and heal once. So as my bar is down, I heal one more time. So that's what I meant earlier on. So now we have to keep hitting and regenerating Moonlight. So as you can see now, I got hit by the red pellet, and it's so hard to regenerate Moonlight, and it's even worse in hard will. So I know it's very messy in the map, but that's basically one of the mechanics, which is you need to avoid the red pellet. And every time you get hit by will or spider legs, it actually delays your regeneration by 2 seconds for hard will and 1 second for normal will. That is actually a small little mechanic that we might know or don't have to know. Yeah, doesn't really matter because we just get hit in the end, you see. So as the test begins, it was, so as you can see, he says 21, 27. So there was crack, and I would have highlighted to you that there was these 3 areas that usually the spider legs will appear. So as you can see, even till now, the spider legs appear at the usual 3 spots, and they are usually at the crystal at the back. So as I have highlighted to you just now, the 3 areas that usually have to stand get hit by the spider legs during the test. So I'll repeat again. So now our test will be at 19:28 because we failed the test and someone has died. So during the test, no one can die. If that person dies, you have to wait another 2 minutes before the next test begins, and You just gotta survive, and it's really hard to survive over here, especially it's very hard to regenerate moonlight. Unless you have BOD. It's simply said. So over here I binded him because I just told my party that he's annoying. So hit him up, bind him, he wouldn't push back. And as you can see, sometimes at the two corners of the map there is this spider web. It's one hit KO. Once you touch it, simply touch it, you're dead. So that's why another mechanic is to always stay behind him again, because he knocks you back. He knocks you back, he stuns you, he causes you to have confusion in walking left and right. So stay behind him, don't get knocked back to the spider web. And make sure you avoid the red pellets so that you can regenerate your moonlight. So if you're waiting for the test, you don't have to immediately revive or respawn. Yeah, so the test begins at 19 something. Yeah, the timer delays slightly as time passes. So there's no crack on the floor. What I'm doing, you can see I'm hitting him, is to regenerate moonlight as I can. Okay, 2, 3. So there's no crack, and he's vulnerable. So that's basically it for second phase. So moving on to the third phase is that we have to first look at the eyes. So there's the yellow eyes for stay and white eyes for move. And in order to do that, you have to be able to move, right? For example. So what causes you to not be able to move is actually all those webs that's around you. So these webs will seal your skills, so you can't dash, you can't double jump. So when he's slamming down during white eyes, you can't move, so that hinders everything, and this is mostly the reason why people die. So clear the webs. So the only way to clear the webs is to regenerate your moonlight. Unlike the second phase, and well, similar to the first phase, you can heal as you please after its cooldown. But the moonlight is to be regenerated so as to clear the webs at the side, so you don't get sealed. And if you get sealed, you can't move, you can't double jump, and that is horrible. So always clear your webs as you can. So as you can see, I'm always trying to regenerate moonlight, and then I go and clear my webs. So as I clear my webs, I stay when there are yellow eyes. And then the next I know is move, because there's always the same pattern. So it's always move, stay, so now it's move. Alright, so I iframe that because I'm so lazy to move, and my iframe's only every 25 seconds. Maybe, yeah. So now it's stay, so next will be move. So there's always this pattern unless you bind it. So next will be move. Move. I iframe that because I don't want to walk, or I don't want to move, and I don't want to risk it. So now you stay, and next will be move again. The person with poison, always stay away from your teammates because it kills them. It doesn't affect you, but it kills them. Yeah. So when you can move, you move. You stay. It really doesn't matter. Just continue working. So if you're very afraid that you don't time your moving properly during the white eyes, iframe it. If you have quick iframe, so move, and then next will be stay. So it's very patterny. It's like very a sequential. So just make sure you know the eyes right. Someone's looking out for your eyes, and yeah, the boss. So now you see I'm actually very close to my teammates. It's because the shell can prevent you from poisoning your teammates. So that's basically it. So that's it I have for Will. So thanks for watching. Any questions, comment down below. Thank you.